Simply trusting every day, trusting through a stormy way, even when my faith is small, trusting Jesus, that is all. Trusting as the moments fly, trusting as the days go by, trusting Him whate'er befall, trusting Jesus, that is all. The words of this fine song first appeared in a Chicago newspaper in the spring of 1876. They were clipped from the newspaper and given to Dwight L. Moody, who in turn gave them to Ira D. Sankey with the advice to put them to music. Mr. Sankey said he would if Mr. Moody would vouch for the doctrine taught in the verses. Mr. Moody said he would, and thus Mr. Sankey was encouraged to write one of his earliest compositions. He included it in Gospel Hymns No. 2. which he was, at the time, compiling with P.P. Bliss. The newspaper had, as they so often did in those days, neglected to include the name of the author, and it was not until 1879 that the writer was found out to be Edgar Page Stites, a resident of Cape May, New Jersey, and a cousin to Eliza Hewitt of Will There Be Any Stars in My Crown fame. The revival of 1857 and 1858, plus the Civil War, had a great influence upon the life of Mr. Stites. He became an active member of the Methodist Church, and during the war was stationed at Philadelphia, where he had charge of feeding the troops that passed through that city. This position also allows him many opportunities to speak with the boys in blue about their souls. After the war, he became a Delaware river pilot, but his love for Christ and his desire to win others eventually led him to become a local Methodist preacher. He was also very active in the newly formed Methodist camp meetings at Ocean Grove Assembly in New Jersey, which was founded in the early 1870s. It was through hearing of a very stirring message at one of the early assembly gatherings on Job 13:5, "Though he slay me, yet will I trust him," that Stites was led to write Trusting Jesus. A copy of this poem fell into the hands of a religious editor who sent it to the Chicago paper. When Mr. Sankey contacted Mr. Stites to verify the fact that he was the author, Mr. Stites replied that he was, but would appreciate it if he would include only Mr. Stites' first two names in the song, or on the song. He felt his calling was that of a preacher, and that he would not want to become known as an author. So for many years the name Edgar Page was listed as the writer. This was also true of another of Mr. Stites' songs, O Beulah Land. It was not really until a few years before his death that the singing church became aware of the fact that Edgar Page and Edgar Page Stites were one and the same person. Alfred B. Smith. Brightly does his spirit shine. Sorry, I'm singing the chorus, I think. I can't remember if maybe I'm singing the verse. That's the trouble with not having accompaniment. Brightly does his spirit shine into this poor heart of mine. While he leads, I cannot fall. Trusting Jesus, that is all. Trusting as the moments fly. Trusting as the days go by. Trusting him whate'er befall. Trusting Jesus, that is all. Singing if my way is clear, praying if the path be drear, if in danger for him call, Trusting Jesus, that is all. Trusting as the moments fly, trusting as the days go by, trusting Him whate'er befall, trusting Jesus, that is all.